So today I'm going to show a trick how to clean your sink, kitchen sink. So if it's going down slow, what you can do. So in this case, I actually this trap was really wasn't worth keeping. I just put a new tailpiece, a new trap in here, and I made a nice connection there with an 1.5 by 1.25 rubber Firmco connector. So this way I could take it off and put a snake in there if I want, an auger to clean it out. But if you want to get your sink to work, a little trick, first try this and I'll show you. This sprayer, most kitchen sinks have a sprayer like this. What I did was what I do sometimes I should say is I unscrew this here and then I get a lot more pressure like this, and I'll just hold it here for a while, put hot water, and that'll blast this, what's in the trap, 99% of the time out. So just unscrew that sprayer and put the hose down in the drain here like this and keep running it until you're satisfied with how it's working. So this was completely clogged up and I got it to blast through, and I figured let me show, I want to make sure I want to just share this with you guys. So I have another video how to do this with a water bottle, fill the bottle up and blast it through, but this works really good, so I wanted to share this and I hope that this helps. So got this working really good, and make sure you shut it off and just of course reconnect the sprayer just like this. You don't need any wrench on it or anything, just hand tighten because there's a washer in here. So I'm going to tighten this up with 2 hands in a minute. And again, this trap, I didn't show what I did here, but this trap was glued in and I removed it and I replaced it. This way I can, in the future, clean this out a lot better. So now it looks nice and clean, and there's not going to be any lingering odors in this dirty tailpiece and trap. So just a lot of times just get rid of that. This is 1.5 inch, and I put, since this is tubular, I used 1.25 inch on this end and 1.5 inch on the other, and this way it seals up real nice. So that's a little trick how to blast the sink. I touched a little bit on what to do with these traps. Now, one thing to mention is this is a solid tailpiece. I put the solid in for now, so when I blast it out I can build pressure, fill this all the way up. I didn't want it stubbed out for the dishwasher because then it would leak out and I would have to plug it. So you can either plug that or just put a straight pipe in until you blast the drain out completely. So I'll show what I mean by that. So this is what was there before, and if I try to blast it, it's just going to pour out of here. So I didn't want to. I could either cap that, but since I was changing it, a lot of times I'll go with a solid tailpiece. This way all this water fills up here in the sink and it'll build pressure and blast it out. So before I put the dishwasher in, which goes here, I'll put the tailpiece with the branch for it. So that's really easy to do. So hope that helps, and check out some of my other playlists: plumbing, electrical, carpentry, gardening, etc. Don't forget to subscribe, and if this helps you, please hit the like button. So just to show, this is the old part of the trap. I wrapped it with a plastic bag and I cut it. This way I can contain all the nastiness inside that there. This is just another example. This here is a bathroom, but same idea, very similar idea I should say. So this here is 1.25 inch typically for the bathroom. And so in that case I have this Firmco is 1.25 inch on this end here, and then on the other side it's 1.5 inch. So it's an 1.5 inch by 1.25 inch Fernco connector. Now with the kitchen sink that I showed before, the trap, the P-trap, is 1.5 inches. So, but since it's tubular, you need to go with the 1.25 inch connector, because then it'll be more closer in diameter. So even though the kitchen sink is 1.5 inches, the P-trap, I still bought an 1.25 inch on one end of this connector to connect to the 1.5 inch tubular, and then the other side is 1.5 inches, just like this one, because tubular is smaller. Even though it's called 1.5 inch tubular, it's still, the diameter is actually smaller. So I just wanted to emphasize, don't get the connector that's the wrong size. Get the 1.5 inch by 1.25 inch, and that works real good. And they actually even have a connector which is specifically for tubular, which is this stuff here, and they're usually gray, but this works fine. So again, with that kitchen sink, I showed how to blast it, and the same thing you could do with the bathroom. Of course, the bathroom doesn't have the sprayer, but in most bathrooms you can get the shower hose and then drape it over to the sink if it's in close proximity and blast it down. So I'll show that too, what I mean by that. Okay, so in this case, the shower is close to the sink, the bathroom sink, and so what I'll do is I just unscrew this shower head and use this hose to go down and spray that really good. Now of course, if it doesn't reach, you can always use like a garden hose and stick it through the window and that type of thing, and stick it down and blast it that way. But I just want to show, if you have the sprayer, just do this pretty much. Let's see if I can unscrew it. One sec. Basically just unscrew right here like this, and then take this stick it down and just spray it. So I keep this loose so that I can pull it in and out, so it's easier for cleaning. I don't have to keep unscrewing it all the time. So let me show how I do that. A lot of times when you pull this up, it'll be pretty nasty, and then it has to be cleaned. And you do that with an old toothbrush and just clean it like this. Use warm water. And that'll clean it really nice. Again, if you don't have it loose to pop up like I do, then you have to unscrew it from below. But I don't want to be bothered all the time. I clean this all the time, so you just get... What I do is I get some soap and just go like that, get it nice and clean. That cleans this general area, but a lot of times you're going to have to go further. So what I do is, again, just get soap on an old toothbrush and then clean this whole pop-up, and this way it'll get rid of any odors or gunk or grime. And you just want this nice and clean. And this is just another thing I do. You see it's coming nice and clean here. You could throw on some gloves if it's something you want to do. So the warm water works nice, and you just get it nice and clean like this. So I'm going to show how I blast the drain. So basically, I get this real clean here. So you can see that's nice and clean now. But to get this drain really nice, you take the sprayer from the shower, put it on hot, you can see how I shoot it down in there like that. Again, if you don't have a shower that's close enough to the sink, then you can use a garden hose. Or my other video shows how to use a water bottle. You fill it up, and then you flip it upside down, and then compress the bottle to basically blast the drain as well. So that's how I do that. And just make sure you retract this right here. And this is pretty good, nice and clean now, and that just goes right back in here. Again, that just goes basically right back in like that, and that's how I do that. If I want it to work, I would have to connect it underneath, but I like to be able to pop it out, and this way I can clean it really easily. So that's how I do that.